what happened on the August 1st edition of Monday Night Raw? Find out next on my Raw review. What is up, you guys? Zombie here, bringing you another video. This time it is my Raw review. It just went off the air as always. That poster is messed up. I need to fix that. Gotta love Black Ops 3 Zombies. But anyway, it kicks off with Sasha Banks, Romo, Charlotte interrupts, and Charlotte called Sasha winning the belt a one-night stand. Sasha, of course, came back saying if it wasn't for a one-night stand, Charlotte wouldn't have been born. Of course, that's a hip fire to Ric Flair there. And then, of course, Chris Jericho, of all people, interrupts. And calls Sasha a brat. And, of course, who else but Mr. How You Doing? Enzo Amore comes out. And this is going to be the quote of the night, okay? This is going to be the quote of my night. Came right at the beginning of Raw. And this is from Enzo Amore. Sasha Banks make a certified G deposit. Take that as you will, but that is not PG. Mick Foley interrupted and announced a mixed tag team match between the two, which Chris Jericho and Charlotte won due to the fact that Donna Brooke interrupted. Chris got smacked by Sasha, and it just didn't work out too well. But Charlotte got the win on Sasha. Chris Jericho hits the code breaker on Enzo after the match, and Big Cass comes down after Jericho, and Jericho runs. The match and everything after it, I rated 2.5. The actual promo to set it up, I rated a 4 out of 5. Great promo. I have to admit, amazing promo. Match was happy that there's a mixed tag match though. That was a key. That was a factor for me. Okay, next we had a squash match between Braun Strowman and some nobody. 2 out of 5. Not gonna rate all these squash matches. Backstage segment between Seth and Mick Foley backstage with Mark Henry. Says that he wants to open up the Hall of Pain. Mick put him in a title match against Rusev later in the evening. And then R-Truth and Goldust in a pre-match segment. Of course, R-Truth playing Pokemon Go. I rated that segment 2.5 out of 5. It wasn't a bad backstage segment. I'm rating the backstage segments because last week I felt with the SmackDown and Raw that there had to be equalizers, so the backstage segments I'm going to have to rate. Goldust and R-Truth versus Primo and Epico, of course the Shining Stars. The Shining Stars won, mostly due to the fact that R-Truth was too worried about playing Pokemon Go. He dropped his phone on the apron, didn't get the tag to R-Truth to Goldust. Anywho, Shining Stars won, 2 out of 5, carrying on. Michael Cole was in the ring interviewing Finn Balor. Seth Rollins interrupts. It was just a generic promo. I rated 2 out of 5. It wasn't anything spectacular. Didn't really progress storyline much, in my eyes at least. So 2 out of 5. Rusev versus Mark Henry for the U.S. title. Rusev won. It was a pretty good match. It wasn't the match itself. It was what happened after the match. Rusev was cutting a promo, and of course it was leading up to like Olympian and stuff like that. I thought for sure, even though I know I've said Angle wasn't supposed to come back, but I just thought, okay, maybe I was wrong. Oh no, it wasn't Angle. Roman Reigns comes out, and he got cheered. And I hate to admit it, I cheered for him as well. It looks like Roman's going after the U.S. title because he went and hit a Superman punch on Rusev, and Rusev scurried up the ramp. Match and the aftermatch got 3.5 out of 5. Pretty good match. Then it was Titus O'Neil versus Darren Young. It was a horrible match. I gave it a 2.5. Backstage, Steph gives Mick Foley Tablet, Sheamus, and Cesaro there. and the winner between them later in the evening would get a future title match. I mean, these backstage segments, some of them are just so stupid, but they bring everything together. I rated it 2.5 out of 5. Also, right after that, Titus O'Neil said Bob better back calm down or he'd knock him out, and this was backstage after the match because Titus had to grab Darren Young's tights. Darren Young attacked Titus, I mean, furiously. I rated this a 2.5 out of 5. I mean, it's showing that Darren Young is actually getting an edge to him, and that's what's really needed. Nia Jax versus no one, like another squash match, a 2 out of 5. Interview with Sami Zayn, 2.5 out of 5. New Day promo, I gave a 3 out of 5, just because it's a New Day promo and it was really good. I mean, there was things about apples and a banana. Don't want to get into it, not PG. Gallus and Anderson versus Big E and Kofi Kingston, of course, because Xavier had to go back to the back because only 2 members of the New Day could compete tonight. Fast roll up by the New Day. Big E and Kofi won. Carlos and Anderson came out to attack. Well, went and attacked them after the match. Xavier came out to try to help. Didn't really work out too well. I rated it 3.5 out of 5. I mean, it wasn't bad. The spots were there, and the attack afterward. It just felt right, and it felt like storyline progression. Okay. Cesaro versus Sheamus. Okay. Cesaro wins. 3 out of 5 match. There's a brawl afterwards. Security holding them back, trying to show like every match is so important or whatever. So Cesaro is supposed to be a future title match. Not sure what title that's supposed to be exactly. And then came probably the segment of the night that I loved. He said he was in the ring with Jinder Mahal. Mick interrupted, saying that the winner of the match, Jordan Drew, it was Jinder versus Heath. Jinder won. I rated this a 4 out of 5, mostly because of the fact the build up to it was so smart. Because it was like, yeah, 2-man band, baby. And I was like, no, you got rocked, baby. So 4 out of 5. Chris Jericho was backstage in an interview. Says he had something to watch his back, you know, with the whole big cast thing and everything. Owens pops up to the side and said that he had Jericho's back. And I just want to say this. Jericho said Tom Phillips' name was Tim, and then he called him a stupid idiot. But I gave that a 4 out of 5. I enjoyed it. I think a lot of people enjoyed it, and I'm really interested to see where the Owens and Jericho thing goes. Main event of the night, Seth versus Sammy. It was an alright match. I gave it a 3 out of 5. No big spots, really, for me. Oh yeah, Puff Daddy. Supposed to be on Raw next week. Then it was supposed to be the segment of the night. And these are going to be really special, because these are going to be the part where you can earn extra. I'm going to set them out of 15, but they can go up to 20, so you can get extra points for them. And tonight was that night. I rated this a 20 out of 15. And this is going to be the moment that they hype up all week, or whatever, like American Alpha debut for SmackDown. But anyway, Paul Heyman did a short promo for Brock. He came out to the ring saying that Orton could never hit the RKO on Brock Lesnar and all this, and then he kept repeating. Next thing you know, Orton slides into the ring out of nowhere, RKO's Brock, and then runs back up through the crowd. And of course, you see Stephanie and McFoley come down, security's running down, the Raw roster runs down, of course Orton's up in the fans by that time, and it was just a heck of a way to end Raw. I know he's not supposed to be on Raw, but it was a great way. I was wondering how they would build that, but that was perfect. Anyway, you guys, my overall rating for Raw, I'm going to give it a 4 out of 5, okay? I'm going to give it a 4 out of 5. I'm not stretching it. The only reason why it's getting that is because of the Brock Lesnar segment. That's the only thing. The RKO out of nowhere from Orton just kind of boosted it. So I'm going to give it 4 out of 5. Raw, after last week, this seemed really bad. Like, you could have had a great show this week, but you didn't. But anyway, guys, let me know in the comments below what you guys thought about Raw this week. Also, like as always, and don't forget to subscribe. Till next time, much crack-a-lack and zombie snacking. Catch you later.